Hey Facebook, welcome to Life with Annie. My name is Annie and this is my life. Oh. Okay, and we're here to talk about this storm that's coming up. Now, where I live in South Carolina, the last time that I checked the satellite and all the weather predictions, it's coming on up through Florida, straight up, right to where I live, right on my doorstep. So, and it's unusual that we get that kind of weather, an actual hurricane. Where I live, I mean, you know, we get it all the time. You see that kind of stuff over on the coast. But to come up through the states like that is just, I've never seen it before. I'm sure it's happened, I've just never seen it. But I thought it would be a good idea to be prepared. So what I'm gonna put together tonight for us, and to hopefully maybe give you some ideas if you haven't thought about doing something like this. It's like an emergency preparedness kit, an EPK as I call it. And I took my lunch hour today and I ran to a store to get a few things that I knew I didn't have and that I thought might be helpful in a situation like this. Now, some of you are going to have extreme issues. You know, you're going to be, leaving your homes. You're going to have a lot more severe. Well, we don't know at this point, but I know that some of us are going to have it a lot worse than others. Hopefully everything will be okay. But so some of these things that for someone in my area can get by with, maybe someone down in Florida is going to need a lot more. But this is just to give you some ideas, customize it to what you think you're going to need, what your weather area is telling you about what is expected in your area. I have, people that watch Life with Annie that live in southern Georgia and Florida and South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, all these states that are being affected by this. So, I want all of them to be safe as well. But real quick, I just want to go over a couple of things. I was trying to find something to put some of this in. Now, this isn't going to hold, nearly what I've got. But it's just a lock and lock, and you probably all have seen lock and lock. But it's, it'll keep everything inside dry. So the things that you don't want to get wet, that might be a good place to start. And before I go any further, just make sure wherever you are, or if you're having to travel, or you just, you lose your power, I've got my blanket here, so just make sure you put blanket on your list. Depending on how many people, you're going to be with, you might want to try to grab up a couple blankets, maybe a couple pillows if there are children involved. But anyway, we're going to make our little EPK. So what I decided I would start putting in here were just some basic things that you might need. Even if you don't have the severe storm, but your power is out. So you're without power for a few days, or even one day, and that's bad enough. So the first thing I got was some I had at home, but if you're like me, you have a bazillion flashlights and you can't find any of them. So I did go out and I picked up another flashlight, and I think Matt has, there were none. I think there were 4 flashlights left in that store, 2 of which looked like if you looked at them they were going to fall apart, and the other one just, it just didn't look like it was going to last. So I found this one. Of course, you want to always buy extra batteries. I've got more batteries here, but just to show you, I'm just going to put in a pack of batteries to go with these flashlights. And then the other form of light, I bought a candle, and you can buy several of these. But I would try to buy something that's contained in a jar of some sort, so that it's a little bit safer. Or you can get the battery operated candles like this one. This one's a little bit bigger, but you know, that you don't even have a flame, because you know, you don't know what situation you might be in, and you don't know whether you're going to have children around, you know. You just want to be safe. This one has a little lid, so I can burn the candle, and, you know, if we start to fall asleep, pop the lid on it, you know, for safety. So we can put that in there. And then, of course, to burn your candle, I bought a box of matches, and trying to keep them dry, if you're in a heavy downpour or something gets wet, you can keep them in some kind of another smaller lock and lock. Oh, and I just got a little Ziploc bag or resealable bag here, and I'll put my matches down in here. And then you can use these little bags, just keep them with you. You can use them for anything. So, you know, you might have some things you don't want to get wet. Keep a bag of those with you. A good thing to have, and don't forget, is like some kind of charger. If you don't have power, you know, if you have access to your car, you could go out there and charge your phone or whatever you need. But if you do have power, and you want to just hear all the alerts on your phone or whatever, your iPad, whatever you're using, just to, you know, throw your charger in there and make sure your phone or your iPad or everything is charged up, is, you know, fully before you know, anything starts to happen. Okay, then I did put, these are just little tissues that I found today. They're just 3 packs of little tissues, because, you know, if you need something like this, you know, if you want to cry, or if you're wet or whatever, you can always use tissues. Okay. Your medications. Don't forget, if you're traveling, or say, you know, you just got to get out of the house real quick for some reason, and this can apply to anything, you know, any kind of emergency. I bought these little containers, and you can just fill them up if you know, like for Advil, if you have children that take certain medications. Just, you know, if you want to just throw a few things in here, these are just individual little containers that you could throw some things in. Or if you want to take your important medications with the labels and everything on them, this might be a good thing to also put in another sealable type container, or use your bags to keep things from getting wet. So we'll put those in there, but I'm not really, because I'm going to need those later. And then, you know, of course I'm going to get a bigger container if I'm going to do all this, but the small things are going in here. But have things like, you know, disposable cups, so that you can, you know, everybody will have a cup to drink with. You know, if you've got your, of course, your bottled water that you're going to need to have, so you can just pour water in cups. And the other thing I got to go with that bottled water, if you have children, these little sugarless fruit, like juice mix type things that you can just pour down in your water, and that might, you know, the kids might like that, so we'll put that in there. So I heard someone posted that one of the stores didn't have any bottled water up here in South Carolina where I live. There's no bottled water, so in that particular store. So people are heeding these warnings, which is a good thing. So that's why I'm doing this tonight. I thought you could get out. You've got Friday to get out, try to find some things that you might not already have, and then you can, you know, get all your stuff, all your ducks in a row, and get all your stuff together. And if something, heaven forbid, did happen, you would have something to start with. Let's see. Talking about kids again, if you have small children, pick up a couple little things that will occupy their mind, you know, give them something fun to do. This is just a little sun catcher type thing that they can paint, you know, and just, you know, something like that, so that they're not, you know, worried about, you know, if it's thundering and the wind's howling up a storm. If you are traveling and having to leave, grab some toothbrushes, these little containers. You can store your toothbrushes in for sanitary purposes, but you don't know. You never know you don't know what you're going to need. You don't know what the situation's going to be like for you. I found these little bottles that you can fill up if you're going to be somewhere and you just want to, maybe put some alcohol in here or some shampoo or some conditioner. If you're somewhere where you can, get a shower or something like that, hand lotion, whatever you think you might need. That might be something you can use those for. I did find a little small first aid kit at the store today. I don't think it has a whole lot in it, but it's something. I don't know what I do with my glasses. Let's see what all this has in it. It's got some bandages, different sizes, and some antiseptic towelettes. So you've got different band-aids and some antiseptic in here. So that would always be good to have a first aid kit, even the most small, tiny one you have. Just for band-aids. I mean, if you're out and about and you scrape your hand on a branch or something. And then I've got antibiotic ointment too that I'm gonna put in there. So what else do we have? Okay, if you have an infant, make sure you have a diaper bag packed with diapers, wipes, formula, whatever the babies need. If they're running, sick at the time, take their Tylenol. Just throw some things together. It's better to have too much than not enough and not what you need in an emergency. And then these are just little, I picked up these are just little huggy wipes. So I figured, if for some reason we're out and about and we don't have access to a sink and everything, we can just wash our hands and put some, what do you call that stuff? Oh, hand sanitizer. I forgot to bring that in there, but put you some hand sanitizer in there. Excuse me. Too much talking. Okay. Now, pets. Be sure, don't leave your pets. There's been a lot of stuff on the Harvey, and it couldn't be helped, of all the pets out there. But take your pets with you. Take plenty of food. I'm just using this can as an example, but I would put some dry dog food, dry cat food, whatever your pets eat. Put some treats in there. If they play with toys, take some of their toys that they like to play with. So don't forget your pets, because that's very important. If they use little puppy pads to go potty on, you might want to, depending where you're at, put some of those little puppy pads in there, and you can use them to sit on. If you're in a wet area, you can sit on them and they'll, keep you dry there as well. And then there's people food. And I've just got a couple things. I mean, it's good if you can find non-perishable things that, you don't have to worry about cooking, because you may not have power, you may not have a refrigerator, you may not have a stove, so you want to just get easy stuff, just enough to get you through until things are better. So I just picked up some bags of snacks. These are some little Oreo cookies, some protein, peanuts. These are good right here to pack up some of these. It's just individual tuna salad with crackers, and I think it's a pop-up can. It's got a spoon in it. I think these come in chicken as well as the tuna. So these would be really good to put in your emergency preparedness kit. But if you do take things like some baked beans or some other canned items that don't have the pop tops, just throw a can opener. And this is kind of a bulky one. You can find a smaller, less expensive can opener just to fit in your little container. And of course you can always buy chips. Just throw some things in a bag of some sort, and get it all organized. Now this is by no means organized. Oh, and paper towels. Throw some paper towels in, and I had to do this for Mama. The first thing she said was, you gotta have toilet paper. So, taking a roll of toilet paper. But you never know, you might be, you know, traveling. Say you're someone in Florida who's really being hit hard, and you're traveling down the road and traffic stopped, and you're stopped for hours, maybe, you don't know. And you might need to go out to the restroom. So that's for Mama. And, you know, you might want to put a few things in there, like maybe some scissors or some kind of little various and sundry tools, depending, you know, you just, at this point, it's hard to know what's going to happen and where it's going to happen and how severe it's going to be. But it's never bad to be prepared. And just having a few little things to get you through till, you know, if you lose your power, till your power's back on. But just don't wait, because from what I'm hearing up here, if the stores are selling out of, like, I couldn't find but those couple of flashlights today, and over in the tool section, it was like bare. There was just not a whole lot of anything there. And then where I saw where the water had, there were no packs of water left. So people are listening. So they're getting out there and they're getting what they think they might need. And hopefully we won't need any of this. But it's just always better to be prepared. So I'm going to try to organize my little kit here. And if something happens, because Matt and I probably will have to leave here if it gets the way they say it's going to get. But I won't leave without Lucy and Thunder. So I think what we'll probably do is we'll go to my mother's and stay with her. And if Gladys, her neighbor, needs to, you know, someplace she can come, then we'll just all be together and see it through, hopefully. But I'm hoping it's not going to be that bad. It just looks like the way it was pointing, it's coming right to us. And I think it has kind of veered to the west a little bit, so maybe it'll take a different route, but I don't want it to hurt anybody else or harm, destroy other people's homes and lives. But I just know that I have some people that watch Life with Annie that live in the paths of this terrible storm. So if you can just get a flashlight, a candle, a match, a radio. I don't know if I mentioned radio. Back in the day, we had little transistor radios. I don't even know if they exist, but get a boom box or something with some batteries, and that way you can listen to the radio. You know what's going on if you lose power. Now, a lot of people depend on their phone apps for that now, but then you just got to remember, keep those phones charged, keep those chargers, get them charged somewhere. But anyway, that's all I have for you tonight. I just wanted to mention this to give you a little bit of time that if you haven't, gotten some things together, and you can probably just find stuff in your own home right now that you can use for this. And that way, if for some reason something happens in your area and you need to get out, and they give you enough warning and you need to get out, just grab that thing, that bag or that container that you got, and head out, to safety. And hopefully, like I say, it won't be bad, but it sure looks scary right now. So I think I see a couple people that have popped on. Hey Melissa, hey Linda. And the last thing that you might want to throw in there, I know it would comfort me, is a good book. So if you're, afraid or something, you can just, where else can you go but there? So I think I'll put that down in mine, just a small one. So I just wanted to share that with you. If maybe one person out there gets a little kit together and say they just lose their power for a while. Well, they can open it up and eat a can of tuna and light a candle. Yes, Linda. Is it headed your way? Are you going to be affected by this? I know that Heather lives down in South Georgia, and I was wondering, I don't know what part of Georgia South Georgia. So, but it looks like it's coming right through where Georgia and South Carolina meet, or last time I saw that was the projection, but it changes, I'm sure. But anyway, I hope everyone is safe, and be prepared, and if they say evacuate or get out or whatever, I guess I would heed those warnings, because we've seen the devastation that took place out in Houston, so we don't want to see that again, because it's just so unusual for one to come up this far into inland and just stay on land and be that strong. So it is kind of scary. But that's all for me tonight. I'm going to try to get this a little bit more organized. I'll probably put some of it in some like little zipper bags that I have just to carry it, and hopefully we won't need it. Hopefully this is something we won't need, but just rain and wind for you, Linda. Well, good. Well, you still be careful, and we will see you again soon, depending on what happens. So have a safe night, a safe weekend, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching Life with Annie. Oh, and I came across my very first video that I made last year, probably around this time, because it came up on my memories feed on Facebook, and I posted that to Life with Annie. Matt and I were at a restaurant, and I just was sitting there saying, well, let's just do Facebook Live, and that was the first time we'd ever done it. So I haven't even watched it. I don't even know what I said. Probably something real goofy, but what else is new? So anyway, I want y'all to have a great night, and I'll see you again later, and thank you so much for watching. Good night, Melissa. Good night, Linda.